We've got Fluffy coming in. Fluffy is a cat. I don't know much about Fluffy. I know that John, the owner, kind of adopted Fluffy, or Fluffy adopted John. Apparently John lives up in an apartment building and Fluffy kind of walked in his, I guess went up the fire escape, up the stairs, and walked into his open window and said, "Hey, I'm going to live here." My understanding though is that Fluffy is difficult to handle, as we call it, or fractious. Basically aggressive and a jerk, although Fluffy's a girl, so maybe not a jerk. Her original owner had put a bandana on Fluffy, which is a bad idea. Cats hate that sort of thing. And Fluffy had gotten her front arms through it, so now was wearing it like a little halter top. Mostly I just want to listen. I know, good girl. I mostly just want to listen to her heart so that I can feel confident about giving her a sedative. We examined Fluffy today and I was only able to kind of briefly handle Fluffy. She came out of the cage very, very easily, but within 5 or 10 seconds started hissing, showing me her big teeth and kind of swatting at the air. So I can certainly tell that there's a lot of matting, and these mats of fur are going to be pinching at the skin and causing a lot of pain. So we're going to need to sedate Fluffy so that we can shave off these mats and sort of complete the exam. Can't really take the lid off because it's duct taped.
Oh.
So maybe put her in a cage and then press her against the back of the cage. Come on. Whoa. I know it. There you go. Okay, let's just shut that for a second and get our bearings. I think that's good. Okay. Good? They're welding gloves, I think. I was able to examine her, and the mats are pretty extensive. Not only does she have mats all down her back and some on her belly, but the main one's on her back, but her original owner, who clearly was quite negligent with her, her original owner had put a bandana on. And any guess when that was put on? It is currently May. This bandana had snowflakes and snowmen on it, so this bandana has been on her for a good probably 5 months, 6 months maybe, so before Christmas.
Skin looks better than I imagined, which is good.
Yeah, she's pretty healthy underneath.
Oh, good. That looks like a little kitten.
So we've got Bella coming in soon. All I know about Bella is Bella's owned by John. Bella's 6 or 7 years old, a Shih Tzu breed, and apparently recently had a bladder surgery to have some stones removed. But that's all I know. Unfortunately, we called the clinic asking for medical records, and although they're required to send us the records because it makes care for the animal easier, there's something fishy going on because they kept giving us a hard time, they kept having us call back, and eventually they didn't even send us the records. Wow. Look at that. So she's got these sort of hard plaques, right? These tough, sort of sticky, firm kind of pieces of fur. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but I know she has some sort of skin lesion. I don't know if it's associated with the surgery from a week ago, but we'll certainly find out when we see her. We'll start with a small one.
I think there's like a blister right there. Yeah.
To just relax a bit, and then we'll tackle Fluffy and we'll get back to her.
Okay. Cage or family?
Cage. You want to move this? I'm going to go talk to the dad and then. So we've shaved the fur and kind of cleaned up the back of Bella, and it's pretty ridiculous, pretty horrendous. She has open sores, bruises, necrotic skin, which is dead skin. Some of the areas of the skin may actually slough off and die and peel off, and then there'll be some infected and bleeding ulcers underneath. Looking at her history, looking at the distribution of the wounds, I'm pretty confident that she's been burned. Now, this isn't something that happened at home. I actually think this is something that happened at the previous vet clinic. It appears like this clinic was using a very antiquated and ancient sort of electric heating pad, and even the coils, the copper coils of the heating coils inside have burned the skin in this sort of S wave. So you can just imagine this dog, thank goodness not being able to feel anything because they're under anesthetic, but lying on this super hot electric blanket and the skin just kind of roasting. Yeah, though she's on Clav, and I'm gonna give her some Convenia as well. Pretty infuriating. You know, this is bordering on negligence. I normally would kind of give someone the benefit of the doubt of this, but I think this is why they weren't giving us the records. I think they recognized that there was something that went wrong. Maybe this has happened before and they haven't fixed it, but they were trying to figure out what the problem was before sending us the records, which obviously is inappropriate. So she's going to be okay, but she's going to have a bit of a tough road of healing ahead of her. We put her on some antibiotics, put her on some additional medication and some ointment to help these wounds heal up. Although she's going to be okay, she seems to be in quite a lot of pain, and we're going to have to help her get through that, without a doubt.
Good. That looks like a little kitten.
I gave you two.
So there was no skin
Oh
attachment?
my.
No skin attachment. No, we left the skin. We left the skin on.
Oh, you got.
I figure Donald Trump could use that.
Oh, yes. And it actually looks like his.
A little bit, eh? I think, yeah, it's a little.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh my.
Anyways,
God.
we did not do the lion cut. She's starting to wake up a bit.
Okay.
So we just kind of brushed her out and tried to do a comb over. We didn't survive. Didn't fit. But she basically has a giant bald spot all down her center of her back.
Yeah. Right over
This
the
is
heart.
the main clump,
And then there's this.
and then this is the secondary. So they were removed from the back and the hindquarters. So she was carrying around all this weight.
We shaved up the mats. Thank goodness the skin underneath was quite healthy, but Fluffy looks pretty ridiculous. Not very fluffy anymore, and she already started coming out of the sedative pretty quickly, so we weren't able to give her a proper haircut. So she's going to look pretty ridiculous for a while, but she's going to feel a whole lot better, so that's the main thing. And I think in the end, John is going to be very pleased with how her behavior improves. I think she's going to be a lot happier.